Hello and welcome back to Octopath Traveler 2 with me, Voltage McGammar. This guy's passed out in the snow. Doing alright there, guy? Oh, you're just sleeping. You really shouldn't sleep in the snow. Rescue a man from the snow? No, not yet. He'll just stay there until you're ready. Have a nice warm lantern. There's also a brazier over there.
Where am I?
No idea.
Was I unconscious?
Yep.
You saved me there.
Yep.
My name is Osvald. I'm a scholar.
Neat.
You must be a traveler.
Yep.
I'm looking for someone.
Aren't we all?
I'm sure you have your own reasons for traveling.
Yep.
So what do you say we help each other out for a bit? It's the only logical choice, and my magic is sure to be of use.
Well, we don't have a wizard, but not.
That's unfortunate.
Are you just gonna chill out here while we wait? Yeah, you would.
What is it?
Yeah, let's get going.
You've chosen well.
Osvald joins the party. Here at the beginning of Osvald's tale? Let's see, chapter 1 will begin. Here we go. Osvald is being held prisoner. His tale will continue uninterrupted until the end of chapter 2. Proceed anyway? Yeah. There is no just chapter 1 of Osvald. You have to do both. In sequence.
All things in this world have a source. Nothing begets nothing. Follow the chain of cause and effect, and it will lead you to the answer you seek.
For the record, you, Osvald, plead not guilty. Is that correct? The facts are thus. Upon extinguishing the fire, the bodies of your wife and daughter were found in the rubble.
Oh.
They were nearly charred beyond recognition. A gruesome sight. I'm sure you agree.
Yeah.
Thus, the court accepts, without objection, immolation as the cause of death.
Unless it was covering up another way of death?
However, there is one last inexplicable detail. Nothing one could reasonably consider the cause of the conflagration was found at the scene. Ergo, the fire ought not to have happened at all. Absent the use of magic, that is.
Oh yeah, we live in a world of magic.
You were a scholar of magic, weren't you, Osvald? Is that a mere coincidence? I think not. Having conducted a thorough investigation of the scene, the court holds the following to be true. You, Osvald, were the only one capable of starting such a fire that night.
In the sacred name of Alafan the Scholar King, the court hands down the following verdict. Osvald V. Van Stein, we find you guilty of the murder of your wife and daughter, for which you are sentenced to life imprisonment on Frigid Isle. Do you have any last words?
Harvey. The man who took everything from me shall die by my hand. I swear it.
You really shouldn't say that out loud at a trial. I'm glad you're not. Five years later... Frigid Isle. Prison.
Frigid Isle. A solitary island in the far northern reaches of the sea. Some call it the edge of the world. Blanketed in snow all through the year. The nearest continent is due east. 4 days' journey by sea. Even on the largest vessel. Even then, the fierce blizzards at sea can make a wreck of the mightiest ships. Trips to and from this accursed place are heavily regulated. This place holds all mainlanders found guilty of the most heinous crimes. It held over 300 of us at its peak. In its 80-year history, none have escaped. Or rather, I should say, the deplorable treatment of the prisoners ensures that lives end before sentences do. I have survived for 1,879 days, but neither the unforgiving climate nor the ravages of time shall extinguish the fire in my breast.
Another frigid day in hell, eh, Professor? You know what this is? It's your little notebook. It never leaves your hands, does it? Oh, don't look at me like that. I'm only borrowing it. You were quite the scholar, weren't you? Yes, this notebook could be worth quite a lot. I'm sure it'd fetch me a tidy pile of cigarettes. You're welcome to take it back, of course, but you'll have to fight me for it.
Well, you asked for it. Mug the prisoner for the notebook. Mug! At night, Osvald can mug people for their belongings. Yep, we're that kind of scholar. Got a problem? We will mug this person for our notebook. If you want it back so badly, come and get it. We have a stick! And we're not afraid to use it. Scholar skills. We can't use spells while muzzled. That's why we're not talking much. We have a muzzle on us that keeps us silenced forever. That's okay though, we got a stick! And we do get experience from mugging people. We even got grapes from that.
Take it back. I've got no use for your filthy scribblings anyhow. Help! Guards! He's gonna kill me!
There it is.
Help! Somebody!
And there's the guards.
What's all this about?
It's him. He attacked me.
I do like their hats.
Well, if it isn't Osvald, our magical murderous scholar.
His stick is bigger.
How do you like the new toy I gave you, Professor? It's a fine little muzzle, isn't it? Keeps you from speaking those spells you love so much. You're the only one who has the honor of wearing it, I'll have you know. You should be kissing my feet.
But we can't because we have a muzzle on.
What's that look for? I know defiance when I see it, and I'll have none of it. I'd love to hear what you sound like. I really would. When you're begging for your life, that is.
Ah, corrupt officials. They didn't even solve the problem they were called there for.
13 seconds. 13 seconds from the time a prisoner calls for help to the guard's response.
Ah, information.
At least some valuable information's come of all this. 1 warden and 34 guards for 292 prisoners. Over time, I've learned much about the way the prison and the people within it work. And all of that knowledge shall inform my eventual escape.
If anyone's smart enough to do it, it's you.
An escape for which the plan is written in this notebook, using a cipher, naturally. I've revised said plan numerous times these last 5 years, and polished it to a fine sheen. Only 3 pieces of the puzzle remain. The first, an escape route. For this, I have chosen a passage that leads beneath the prison. This passage is overlooked even by the guards themselves, and it leads directly out of this place. I must conduct a more thorough review of it, and soon. The second, suitable clothing. Once I escape, I'll be exposed to the elements. The cold will claim me in minutes if I am clad in nothing but these rags. The third and final, an accomplice. To escape on my own would be to rely on my own assumptions. I require the help of another with intimate knowledge of the prison's inner workings. With these 3 pieces in place, my plan shall move that much closer to completion. At which point, only its execution shall remain.
But he can work on it tomorrow. The next morning...
Wake up, human filth! To work with you!
Ah, the other part of prison life.
I understand this island was once dotted with mines. Entire mountains were reduced to rubble for ore, and the prison was built atop the wreckage. To this day, there remains phosphor buried in the frigid earth. It's immensely flammable, and sells for a fair bit of coin. So the prisoners are forced to mine it, and the guards line their pockets with the proceeds.
Corrupt system indeed.
Mind scum! Keep those hands moving! I said, keep moving! Unless you'd rather freeze to death! What's wrong with you?
I can't move anymore. It's too cold.
Don't you go soft on me, criminal filth. Need I remind you that you were sent here to atone for your misdeeds? So beg whatever god you serve for forgiveness, and dig, you useless little mole!
He's not moving.
Your life is worthless compared to the precious phosphor you cleave from the earth. And believe you me, we'd burn you instead if you were anywhere near as easy to set alight. Do you understand? Answer me!
Warden, sir. He's already dead.
An unfortunately common sight. We are adaptable creatures. Any environment, no matter how horrific, can be made ordinary.
And we are not in a position to change it either. In fact, nobody who is in a position to change it visits.
Forced labor is followed by a vanishingly small window of free time. It is in this free time that I review the remaining pieces of my plan. They are three. The first, an escape route. The prison is as old as it is massive. There are bound to be gaps and awkward seams. Perhaps I can glean a hint or two from someone with intimate knowledge of the island's history. The second, suitable clothing. One they call the Provisioner sells the clothing I'll need to survive. But first, I need to find them. I'll start by asking any prisoners who might know this Provisioner. The third and final piece, an accomplice. My accomplice cannot be an ordinary prisoner. I must find someone capable of enacting my escape plan. Then all that will remain is the plan's execution.
Okay. I'm glad they reviewed it, even though they just gave us that information. Find an escape route, cold weather gear, and an accomplice. Fortunately, the game marks on the map precisely what you're able to get and where. Huh. You filthy murderers like you even have hearts? Yes. And it burns. I'd rather be out here in the cold than locked up in that cell. They say home is where you make it. Who the hell would make this place their home? Can't even talk to you. Okay, nothing here. Can't sneak behind that. You know what, let's join here.
There are not so many guards watching the cafeteria during this shift. Now is my chance to find an accomplice.
Scrutinize. During the day, Osvald can scrutinize and glean new information from townspeople. Let's see. I like watching people enjoy their food. Prisoner number 257134. Crime, mass poisoning, sentence 156 years. Ah. If you have business with me, you must schedule an appointment through my butler first. Prisoner number 310549. A prisoner who was once an aristocrat. He seems cultured and intellectual, but is prone to leaps in subject as well as a sudden bouts of shouting and unruliness.
No. I cannot tie my fortunes to this prisoner.
How about you? Prisoner, what say we help each other out? Prisoner number 321078. Impression? Flippant. A footlicker who reports misconduct to the prison guards the second he witnesses it, which has made him most unwelcome among the other prisoners.
No. This one won't do.
Not at all. What do you want? Oh, you have a name. Emerald. Prisoner number 294025. Sentence, 30 years. A well-known figure around the prison. His exceedingly wary demeanor belies a sense of determination unlike any other. And he's young enough that he could probably just live out a sentence. But nobody lives out their sentence here.
You there. A word. What are you playing at? Skulking around and sizing up all the prisoners. Ah, right. You can't speak on account of the muzzle. I've been watching you. You know, for the last 5 years. And all that time you've been feigning indifference while you surveilled the place, right? The other prisoners, the guards, everyone and everything. Watching for minute differences, like you're making some sort of audit. As far as I'm concerned, only 2 types of prisoners watch silently for 5 years. Hungry beasts and people plotting an escape. That's it. If it's the former, I know someone who can help. But if it's the latter... So, which one are you, Professor? Shake your head if you're the former, or nod if you're the latter.
Let's go with the former. We're a hungry beast.
Listen, you don't want to mess with me. Are you that desperate not to let me in on your plan? You are planning an escape, aren't you? Huh?
We have no chance. We have no other choice.
So, my eyes didn't deceive me after all. You're quite clever, I'll say that. Now, for my formal request. I want in on your plan. I can be of use to you. You'll see. I got lots of valuable information I'll only share with a close confidant. I've collected it over my long years in this place. That's why they call me Emerald the Informant. I know my information's good. You could do far worse, Professor Jailbreak.
Only someone of considerable wit could have figured out my plot through mere observance. Further, he is correct that I have need of his wares. I can certainly use him to my advantage.
And he could use us to his.
I knew you'd see it my way. So, what would you have me do?
This horrid island is 4 days' journey from the nearest shore. Even if our escape proves successful, we'll need a ship capable of making the journey to the mainland. I have set my sights on the vessel carrying the inspectors, who visit the prison on an erratic schedule. Thus, I need to know when it is due to arrive next.
That is important
The ledger
information to have.
containing that information is fiercely guarded. I stand no chance of laying eyes on it. But all I need to know is the date. For that will be the date we make our escape.
Understood. That won't come easily. Not impossible, though. I'll contact you once I have it. One more thing. Get me the key to this muzzle. Can't make any promises there, seeing as it was made just for you. Let's just pray luck is on our side, eh, confidant?
Indeed.
The plan is in motion. I just need to let the informant do his work.
And there's still plenty more work for us to do, too. Go to bed for the night, because we don't have enough break time to get everything done in one day. Oh no!
Osvald. Have you found the answer?
To work, maggots! Move!
Another day, another nightmare, I guess. After forced labor, you're here again. So okay, it looks like he just reviews what we need to do. We need to get someone who knows the history, and we need to get, coats. We should seek out the prisoner they call a provisioner. The only question is where to procure it. Or which to procure first. And we'll decide that next time. Whew, this was a bit of a long one, huh? Oh well. Next time, travelers, we will continue to try and break out of prison. Later!